Wow. I love it when a plan comes together. What is up, guys? Casey here with Coyote Works channel. We're heading out on a little adventure today, and I thought I'd bring you guys along. I'm gonna try to track down some mining ruins up in here, and part of the structures I've found and identified before. So I'll kind of walk you guys through the site, the parts of the site that I know of, and then we're gonna go on a little adventure and see if we can find another piece of this mining area up here that's located back where you can't drive to. So we're gonna have to do some little hiking. So hopefully you guys will enjoy joining me for this little adventure. Well, guys, as luck would have it, there's actually somebody camped down there where the main mining camp was that I was going to show you guys. So we skipped that spot and we drove up the hill a little ways, and so now what we're going to do is start looking for some of these more out of the way ruins. So we're going to take a quick little walk, see if we can find anything right back up over here, and if not, we've got a couple of other options. I know there should be a tunnel and another building back over this hill not too far in here, and I'm convinced that we're gonna find it before the day is out for sure. Oh, interesting. So there was mining activity all over in here, and one of the things I'm always looking out for is the old dumps. And I see something up in front of us that I'm not sure what it is yet, but I think it might be something pretty cool. Looks like milk glass. No writing or anything on it though. Very interesting. That could be from the 20s or the 30s. Pretty cool, first find of the day. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys can see, but my Jeep's just back down there. We're only a couple of 100 yards from it. The question is, why is this here, number one? And then the second thing is, usually where there's one thing, there's more. But having said that, the miners, probably and their families and stuff, were back and forth all over this area in here. So it's also quite possible that they could have just thrown it out away from a little spike camp or something like that. But it's kind of odd that I didn't find anything else, no other tin cans or anything like that next to it. So we got a couple of dynamics going on right now, and it's September, but right now it's about 89 degrees up here where I'm at, which is just uncannily hot for September in this part of the country. But it has been dry and hot for really 2 solid months, or started really towards the end of June. So we've just got some incredible drought conditions, and the forest is so dry. Huh. Oh, there's a couple more tin cans right there. So maybe there was something going on in here. There's actually quite a few whole bottles in here. They're not extremely old, but they are cool. The log cabin syrup bottle, that's pretty awesome. What this tells me is not too many people have stumbled across this little dump right here. Otherwise, all these bottles would be broken. Also, these are of the era from the mining operation. Yeah, speaking of how dry it is out here, look at this little spring right here. This is usually got moisture in it all year round, and it is bone dry. I did see something off in the distance though we're gonna go check out. I think it's gonna be another building related to this mining activity up in here. The log structure, at least some of the partial walls there anyway. Oh, there's a chipmunk inside there. At least we know there won't be any rattlesnakes. Look at that. Stove jack. Piece of tin. Oh, there's some brick. So it looks like they might have had a chimney or something. My guess is, though, this is going to be related to that mining camp as well. So we're going to walk around in here and see if we can find anything else. But this is another piece of the puzzle. And what's interesting and what's hard to give you guys a perspective of is this is scattered all over. I'm kind of walking around in this area that's maybe like 1-2 square miles, something like that. And I'm on the side of the hill where most of the structures are, but where the mines are, at least the ones I've found, are actually up over the crest of the hill. There's a saddle up here, and it's like they camped on this side. They had all their structures and their cooking and their camp area over on this side. And then they walked up over or drove up over the saddle to go to the mines to go to work. So I don't know how well the camera's picking this up, but I'm just up the hill behind that cabin, and there's a pretty good little trail right here, and it looks like it's heading up right over the saddle. It's a really old one. Obviously hasn't been used by anything but elk and cows for a long time, but I'm gonna follow it because it's going in the right direction to potentially get me back to that other piece of this mine that I want to locate. But like all of the good places, and really all of the glory, it's going to take a little work to get to it. So a little tip for you guys, when you're hiking up here in the woods in rattlesnake country, when you come to a down log like this, never walk up to it and step over it and put your foot down on the other side, because there could be a rattlesnake laying in the shade. Instead, what you want to do is step up onto it, look. Okay, we don't see any rattlesnake down there. Now we can step down. Little tip, when you're deep in the backwoods in rattlesnake country, never put your hands or your feet where your eyes don't go first. All right, I don't know if you guys can see this, but that's a tailing pile right there. An old one. So that would have come out from a prospect or a tunnel out of the mountain. And those are always a good sign that there's mining activity there. All right, I'm still following this faint little trail, but now I'm going downhill off the other side, and it is going really still in a good direction to go right towards where that mark on my map is for that mine. So I'm really hopeful that I'm walking the same trail that the miners walked back and forth to work on this mine. Well, all I'm saying is you would have been in pretty good shape if your job was mining this mine up in here and you were walking back and forth on this billy goat trail every day. The only saving grace is I actually have a little bit of a elk trail to follow here. All right. What in the heck is that? Huh. Oh, it's got a couple of wasp nests in it. Well, I think it's part of an old washing machine, but I don't know what it's doing way down here in the bottom of this canyon, unless it was, you know, something they used. I shouldn't be too far from where the those other mining ruins are. So maybe when we get to those, we'll find out what this thing was. It's definitely porcelain covered steel. Look at that, there's a can. So my guess is I'm on the right track. Usually that trash in steep country like this, they always toss their cans downhill. So that would mean that somewhere up there. Whew, I don't know if you guys can tell how steep this is, but it's freaking steep country in here. Yeah, these miners were some tough cookies. I see what looks like they could be some tailing piles up there. Ha, carbide. Okay, so this is a carbide can. It says Union Carbide on it. And what that means is, well, what they probably used carbide for was their miners' headlamps. So that means that that's a very good sign that we're really close to where mining activity occurred. In fact, we might even be like standing right here at the mouth of a collapsed tunnel. So we're going to look around here a little bit more and see if we can find any more evidence. But that tells me, that carbide can tells me we are where there was mining happening. Oh, there's some more metal right through the trees right there. See that? So we're going to check that out, see what that is. But I think we're on it. Yeah, and this is all tailings in here. All right, so check this out. I'm reasonably certain this is a collapsed tunnel right here, just based on the amount of tailings. Look, this tailings pile goes out 35 yards or something out there. So the size of the tailing pile usually gives an indication of the size of the tunnel. With that big of a tailing pile back there, there had to have been a pretty significant tunnel back here. And my guess is it's just collapsed, but it probably wouldn't take too much to open it back up. Oh yeah, check this out. Oh, look at that. So I don't exactly know what that is behind us, but I'm thinking they were doing some kind of ore processing function right in here. So that's cool, guys. With this much activity here, that means we got to be getting close to where that building is that I want to find. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure what this is, but my guess is, that some part of retort, it's hooked to that pipe. It goes back into the ground there. So check this out. An old cork top whiskey bottle laying right there. Look at that. Huh. I just saw some interesting stuff right over here we want to go check out. But man, I think the temperature is pushing 90. Oh yeah, look at this. So this, look how primitive that welding is right there. And there's some brick down there. So that's definitely part of the process of processing the ore right here. Pretty cool. And then look at this. Huh. Some miner was using that rod to either push material up in there or pull it out. Something like that. Yeah, and I don't know what this little thing is here, but we got a pipe coming out of the top of the furnace over there. That's where we just were. And then these two pipes coming into here. And this is some kind of like a chute or a trellis that went back up that way. So I don't know if this is where they dumped crushed powdered ore in, and then part of the process was they applied heat to it and maybe some kind of chemical that separated it out there. So there's where all that equipment was. And then look at this. Got a nice little road right here that's going right in the direction of supposedly where there's going to be a building. So beautiful out here though. Smoky though, man. That's the other thing, is there's so much smoke in the air right now. Oh, guys. All right, check this out. Look at this. There it is. I love it when a plan comes together. I wonder if I bet the outhouse was right there. Look at that. Old sink, stove jack. Wow. Look at that old stove. Old stove out of the cabin. Old cabinet there. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of trash down there. Look at that. This cabin right here would have been a home to a couple of miners that worked this mine, and there is, my guess would be there probably was no more than maybe, I don't know, 3 to 5 people at any one time working this mine. And It probably didn't barely produce enough, but to just sustain those couple of people for a handful of years, it was probably, you know, a few of the homesteaders that were struggling during the Great Depression came out here, found a little bit of cinnabar or something in these hills, and started mining it. And so just so you guys know, I'm probably about a mile or so from my Jeep, and I do have, as always, some basic survival supplies with me. I've got flashlight, lighter in my pocket here, Bic lighter, little Streamlight flashlight with a brand new battery. Obviously I've got a pistol with me, got a good quality knife, and then I've got a metal water bottle. So theoretically I've got all the basic stuff that I can make shelter, make water potable. Anytime I walk out of sight of the Jeep back in the woods, I do have some basic survival equipment with me. All right guys, well, mission accomplished. I'm gonna look around here, and if I find anything super cool, I'll get you guys back out. But this was the main objective of today, was just to locate this so that we can come back here in the fall when it cools off and look around for some treasures here. So, man, I hope you guys enjoyed joining me for this adventure. As always, I look forward to your comments, your questions down below. And above all, I look forward to seeing you on the next adventure. Until then, Coyote Works out.